Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, where we're about to figure out what it is specifically that killed the president.
It is? Let me see it. Death was due to full body contusions and bone breakages caused by extreme pressure from above. So we have our cause of death. He was crushed.
Just as we thought. Cause of death, crushing. Alright, so it was probably that Torosaurus head.
Test results still haven't come back from the yellow substance found on his chest, but they did find gunshot residue on his right hand.
Interesting.
Gunshot residue? Guess he was a kid at heart, huh?
The gunshot residue K, it's a substance left behind when a firearm is discharged. Its presence indicates that the president may have used a gun.
Really? But we didn't find a gun anywhere, did we?
Indeed not, which makes the residue something of a riddle. We'll need to read that report carefully.
Well, Agent Lang, that clears one thing up at least. The president didn't die from a fall, which means he wasn't pushed from the roof of the big building.
Yep.
He was crushed by the falling Torosaurus head, just as we said he was.
Guess I have to accept that now. Fine, you were right.
Amazing! So does that mean Judge Gavel isn't a suspect anymore either? I don't think he's gonna let that one go.
Surely it must. Both the cause and time of death rule her out. She went with the president the night before last, but the autopsy report puts the time of death at around 11 p.m. last night. We know that Torosaurus' head fell around then too. The facts all line up perfectly.
Phew, what a relief!
Sorry, might be a little too soon to celebrate.
What?
Sure, I think we can accept that the falling head must have been what killed the president, but that begs the question of what could have caused it to fall, or who.
We know what happened late last night, so we have to think about who was here at that time.
What are you getting at exactly? You can't mean...
I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean. Kid's hiding something. He was right here last night, right where the body was found. He saw the footprints. I mean, he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened. That's a big ask, surely.
We haven't yet established if the footprints had anything to do with the murder. So even if he did see them, this doesn't mean he was involved.
Maybe not, but his face tells me different.
He knows something he's not saying, and I can't figure out why.
As the fact he's shaking like a leaf.
It does seem like Agent Lang might be onto something, but I don't think Sean's going to talk.
Fine, keep your mouth shut, kid. I have a better idea. Why don't we let your tape do the talking?
What exactly are you planning, Agent Lang?
The police have some pretty sophisticated image analysis tools these days.
He would go to such extreme lengths to see my son convicted. It's not ideal, but if the boy won't talk, we don't have any other way of getting to the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, you have access to exactly such a device, do you not?
Sure do, little V.
Good. That should make this nice and quick.
Mr. Edgeworth, I request that it be you who carries out the analysis in question.
Why me?
I fear that Agent Lang might be inclined to believe the worst. Image analysis isn't exactly my specialty, but alright. Are there new clues to be discovered somewhere in the image data, I wonder? Oh, okay, cool. Whoa! Eureka! What the? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Let me see, let me see.
Eek! What is it? What's the matter? Show me.
Mr. Edgeworth, the court asks that you share your findings.
Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely.
There's a person there. It's the president.
Oh, my. What? You're kidding, right?
I'd say that's pretty decisive, wouldn't you?
This doesn't look good for Sean at all. Wait, this doesn't prove anything. I didn't know he was there.
I don't believe you, and the image does in fact prove something very important. That you and the President were here at the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid, you murdered President Wang.
No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he? Sean, you didn't. You can't have. Can you? What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to push back against footage like that.
Surely even you can't deny that this looks pretty bad for the kid, Mr. Prosecutor. He claimed he knew nothing about what happened. But the President is right there with him.
You're gonna have to give me something, man.
Sean, what are you not telling us? We have to know.
He's right, Sean. Be honest now. It's the only way. The truth is, it was all my fault. Sean, what did you do? It was my fault the Torosaurus head fell off the trailer. What happened when I was rehearsing? Okay. I went up to the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using, and I turned on the heater while... Oh, I can't press... I can't press anything here. Turned on the heater while I was there. Okay. I must have left it burning when I came back down to run my lines. Interesting. Then my mom called, and I left to set the set to go talk to her. When I came back after the call, the Torosaurus head had fallen from the roof and the President was just there, lying next to it. Okay. No.
We did find evidence of a fire having broken out up on the roof.
It was just a tiny one, so I put it out myself. So we're saying the President died because of Sean? If he did, that would make this whole thing just an accident.
What did you do with the head after you found it on the ground?
He took it apart, carried the pieces up to the roof, and put it back together again.
You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back to where it fell from? In other words, you tried to cover your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid.
It's not like I did any of this on purpose. I really did just forget to turn the heater off.
Yes, when the fire had burned through the legs, the table would have collapsed. And the head.
Would have fallen down onto the ground below. You're right. The fire caused the head to fall.
Indeed, and I also happen to have an idea about how the fire may have started. Those cans of paint thinner by the heater are pretty flammable. Not a great place to keep them.
What?
You swear it was an accident? Seems a little convenient. What's the President even doing here in the first place?
How the heck am I supposed to know? I didn't see anybody, I swear.
I still don't believe you. Why would President Wang come to a place like this in the middle of the night?
His reasons for coming here are something of a mystery, it's true. He met Judge Gavel up on the roof 2 nights ago. But he was also here on the movie set last night. Did he come to meet Sean? I think we'll need to go over the boy's statement very carefully indeed. Okay. Oh, I was pressing the button to... Yeah, I'm just ready to press this testimony.
Hold it!
You're a fit and hearty young man, Sean. It's spring now, surely you didn't really need to fire up that stove.
He's a fit and hearty young man who needs to look after himself.
Objection!
Really, Your Honor, but if he resorts to such measures even during warm weather...
Not going well for us. Seriously? You two are going to argue over something like that right now?
Yeah.
He's right, of course. You've made your point, Sean, but I've told you before to watch how you talk to people. I think he was criticizing you as much as he was me, Your Honor. Yes, Mom. Anyway, where was I?
Hold it!
You You left it burning. You didn't think to check before you came back down into the lot.
I meant to, but I was thinking about my lines in the scene and everything else. It's not my fault I forgot. Everybody forgets stuff. I sure do. So much stuff. I leave the air conditioner on in Mr. Edgeworth's office, and the lights. We'll just screenshot that. I forget that he told me to never jump off the ladder of his bookshelf or make prank calls. But the one thing I would never ever forget to do is turn off an unattended heater.
Please, Sean, go on.
She's a lot, huh? Anyway, as I was saying.
Hold it!
It was the middle of the night and the set was deserted. Why did you need to leave in order to talk to your mother?
I forgot I was supposed to talk to her. I got confused, I guess. I thought if I didn't leave, she'd find out I was out of the hotel at night on my own.
That doesn't make sense. You know that, don't you?
Fine. Look, the camera's rolling and the mics are all live, okay? I didn't want our conversation on that tape where anybody could hear it. He was embarrassed about being recorded speaking on the phone to his mother. So I ditched rehearsal and ran off set as quick as I could.
Hold it!
You pretended to your mother that you were back at the hotel during the call, correct?
How come you couldn't tell her you were coming back to the set to practice your lines? Because she'd have phoned the hotel and asked them to send a car to get me or something.
Overruled.
Of course I would have. A child your age shouldn't be out on his own late at night. Anything could have happened to you.
Children really can't seem to get things from their parents' perspective, can they?
It's true the other way around too, you know, Mr. Edgeworth.
Alright, Sean, can you tell us what happened when you came back after speaking to your mother?
Huh? Oh, sure. So I came back and...
Hold it!
Were there any signs that it was about to fall before you left?
I don't remember. I was concentrating on my lines.
But a fire had broken on the roof because of the heater you forgot to turn off. Did you really hear nothing the entire time?
No, I had my headphones on.
Why?
I was playing the soundtrack to the movie to help me concentrate, and I was playing it loud. So yeah, I definitely didn't hear anything.
Except for the sound of your phone ringing when Judge Gavel calls you.
You know that cell phones vibrate these days, right?
Hold it!
Did you notice anything unusual about the body?
I don't know, it was dark. He suddenly seems even more reticent than usual. I don't think he wants to go back over that memory any more than he has to, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure he doesn't, but is that really all it is? Should I push him a little more on this? I mean, I don't have anything else to go off of, so sure.
It was dark, but you knew it was a body nonetheless.
He's hiding something. I'd better find out what.
Most people would cry out for help if they saw somebody lying on the ground. Yet you didn't.
Yeah, because what was the point? He was dead. You sure about that?
So you said. What I'm interested in is how you were able to be so sure. Why are you certain that he was dead?
Yeah. He was lying on the ground and that huge head was right next to him. Didn't take much to figure out what must have happened.
Objection!
You couldn't have guessed that the impact would have killed him. How did you really know? I'll tell you how, because you checked.
Yeah, fine, I checked, okay? I was scared, but yeah, I went up to the body and I looked, and he wasn't breathing. So I was right. But why try to hide that fact? There must be a reason.
Could you tell me more about how the body looked at that point?
I couldn't tell if he was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, so it was hard to be sure. Nothing on his clothes either, he was completely clean. But yeah, he wasn't breathing. So that's how I knew he was dead.
Thank you. I'd like you to add that statement to your testimony if you don't mind.
I didn't know he was dead at first. There was no blood and nothing on his clothes either. I feel like we have
Hold it!
something to throw at that.
As though there's no blood or any other markings that would have told you if he was alive or dead. Would you say my characterization of your statement is correct?
You know I would, and I saw the body too, so you know I'm telling the truth.
You also told us that the lot was dark at the time, and yet you were still able to confirm all this.
What is your problem? There's nothing on his face and nothing on his clothes, okay?
Thank you, Sean. I think that tells us everything we need to know.
Well, focus on how clean his clothes were. Mine are freshly washed, at least.
Then perhaps you could give us a few details about how exactly you confirmed that the president was dead.
Well, I couldn't tell just from standing there.
Hold it!
Anything here?
How did you confirm he was no longer breathing?
They taught us how at school. You put your cheek next to the person's nose. If they're breathing, you can feel it. Never thought I'd actually have to do it in real life. I mean, it's good that they teach them this stuff, but yeah, it takes guts to do it for real. Not bad for an elementary school kid.
He's in junior high, okay? Try to remember at least that much.
Must have been quite a shock coming back and seeing a dead body just lying there, huh? And this is a dead body with a giant Torosaurus head right next to it.
Yes, I'm sure it must have been very upsetting.
But it does sound like it was an accident, right?
Yes, at least it does the way Sean tells it.
I'd like to know a little more about exactly how things looked around here at the time. Actually, for the I'm back at the beginning. Okay, let's try something here. Not that one. Came back after the call. The torso fell on the roof, and the president was just lying next to it. I didn't know he was dead at first. There was no blood and nothing on his clothes, which doesn't make sense with gunshot residue detected on the right hand. Flexi yellow substance found stuck on his clothing, still undergoing analysis. So from the photo, that isn't true.
Nothing on his clothes, nothing at all.
Nothing on my sleeve either. Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that?
There's something you're clearly hoping that we've forgotten.
What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true.
Unlikely for you to remember it rather well. I'm talking, of course, about the yellow speckles on the president's chest.
Okay, so why is he trying to hide that?
You've studiously avoided mentioning them throughout your testimony. An absence I find suspicious, to say the least. I hope for your sake that you have a satisfactory explanation.
Oh, come on.
Judge Gavel.
Allow me to explain.
But...
The yellow residue on the president's chest. I imagine it was from a bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies, to be precise. Lion lilies. 2 nights ago, when I met the president on the roof of the big building, I presented him with a bouquet. Your type of lily with a large yellow petals. I imagine that the substance on the president's wing's chest was pollen from those flowers. Huh, but they're not there in the printout from the security camera. Only because the president is in the way.
But why give him flowers?
That is not something I'm at liberty to divulge.
What? More secrets? Are you serious? First you wouldn't tell us why you met with him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers.
My sincerest apologies, but all I can tell you is that I gave him the bouquet.
The bouquet that it was nowhere near the body when it was discovered. How do you explain that?
I cannot.
Seriously, Your Honor. Some things you won't explain, the rest you can't. Come on, you've got to give us something here. You wouldn't let this fly in the courtroom. Makes you think we'll accept it.
Hey, you leave her alone. Sean, I threw the flowers away, okay?
You did, so they were there when you first found the body.
Yeah, they were right there on his chest. They were squashed completely flat. Ah, I guess that makes sense, right? They would have gotten crushed along with the president.
The pollen would have been smeared across his jacket front. That does explain things rather neatly. But why remove the bouquet and dispose of it?
No reason. He's almost as evasive as his mother. More secrets, they're quite a pair.
Overruled.
There's no secret. I know exactly why Sean disposed of the bouquet. Huh? You saw me leave the house with it, didn't you? Oh, I get it. When you saw the flowers on the president's body, you remembered seeing your mom with them.
I felt the need to prevent her from coming under suspicion.
No, you've got it all wrong. That's his least convincing lie yet. Bouquet of line lilies given to President Wang by Judge Gabble, recovered from on top of his body by Sean. Okay. I haven't decorated our home with lion lilies. I imagine that's why he remembered. So flowers his mother was carrying showed up on the president's body. Because of that, he got rid of the bouquet and kept quiet about having discovered the corpse. Hey, that ties everything up nicely, doesn't it? A little too nicely for my taste. Why? What's wrong with nice? Guess you forgot, huh? The kid also told us he was responsible for the head falling in the first place. Yeah, he did, but... So he's still our only suspect. The finger of suspicion still seems to be pointing firmly in Sean's direction. However...
Wait! I can think of a far more likely culprit than the boy.
What? Who?
The person who was holding Sean captive until only a short while ago.
That's right. We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. Refrigeration unit in a depot. Yeah. Lucky it wasn't switched on. Poor kid might have frozen into a popsicle otherwise. He was doing his best to call out for help, which is how we found him. The sedatives have worn off by then, so he was wide awake and plenty loud.
The sedatives, isn't that what you were given to?
Yep, we found the bottle on the floor of the unit. It was even the same brand. 3 Z's, apparently it's super strong. Yeah, Kane Sean during their kidnapping.
Well, Agent Lang, surely I'd suggest that Sean is a victim, not a suspect. Somebody else was responsible, and I think they've been behind all of this.
Oh yeah, and the secret mastermind of yours was here last night too.
That I can't say yet.
It's not like you to be so vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Sadly, we just don't have anything to tie our mysterious kidnapper to the murder of the president. So is there anybody else? Somebody other than Sean who could have committed the murder? Of course. So I was right, the kid is still our only suspect.
Not quite, I can think of another.
What?
Somebody who just recently proved was right here on the movie set last night.
Chairman Winner. You think he killed President Wang?
Why not? We proved that he was present. And if he was here, he's as viable a suspect as anybody else, wouldn't you say?
Winner, could he really have?
It's certainly another possibility to consider.
12 years ago, he was... that number again. Look, a lot happened, okay? That was all 12 years ago or more. Your father and the president being friends, our family being the ones who kept him safe. Like the Lang from 12 years ago. Yep, good to see that you're finally about to pay for your crimes. Even if it did take a while for you to get what was coming to you.
Agent Lang, what happened 12 years ago?
We'll just have to find out what happened 12 years ago in the next episode. Hope you're all enjoying this. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.